What's up, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard at Graybeard Gaming Group. Today is Monday, October 5th, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. In today's Division 2 video, we are going to be going over everything from, the matchmaking issues and the loot quality and loot consistency and the wait queues that people were dealing with over the weekend. There was a lot of stuff going on, so we want to answer as many questions as we can. A few quick things, as I've mentioned before. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family, and if you enjoyed this or found it helpful, take a quick second and hit that like button. It really does help us out. Most of you already know this, but at our channel we have giveaways, and our current one is for an Xbox One S or a PlayStation 4 Pro, and all you need to do to enter is subscribe to our channel here or follow us on Twitter. Either way is fine. We will be announcing the winner on November 5th of this year, and as I've mentioned in previous videos, watching our content is not a requirement to win. Only watch the things you may enjoy. Having said that, let's jump into today's video. As we begin, I want to start off by saying thank you all so much for all of the birthday wishes. My birthday was last Friday. You guys it was so nice to get all of the well wishes over the weekend. This community is amazing, and it really, really meant a lot. Anyway, so there's a lot we want to cover today. We got a lot of questions. We're going to jump right into it now. So the first thing we want to talk about was the wait queue, that the major issue that was going on over this past weekend. Now, in case you're unaware, over the weekend, the Division put out a few tweets. The first one said, "We are aware of the long queues currently affecting the game, and we are working to resolve the underlying issue as soon as possible. Stay tuned to this thread for updates as we work to resolve the issue." About 4 hours later, they put out another tweet saying the queue times are now decreasing, and within a couple of hours, the issue should be fully resolved. Thank you for your patience, agents. Now, in full transparency, we did also hear from a lot of people who were not having issues with the queue times. They were having issues in other, aspects of the game, and I can speak for myself in that I didn't play Saturday when all this stuff was going on, and Sunday, I didn't have an issue loading up at all. Now, since that last tweet, we have not heard anything from the game whatsoever. Now, I'm hoping maybe in the time in which I'm recording this and I'm done that they will have put out a tweet. I can give you some update. If not, I'll bring you something tomorrow. But the reality is there's a lot of speculation on why this took place. I mean, you have a lot of people thinking, well, it's due to the fact that, they promoted this game, they gave it away for a weekend, and then they're giving it off for like half off now and all this stuff, and there was an influx in players, and that's what really caused the queues to take place. And then on the other side of the coin, you have people saying, no, what they did is they cut their actual servers in half, meaning this game has been put at the bottom of the barrel, so they have to make do with what they're getting, and the fact is they're not going to be getting the support that the game once did. Now, at this point, we have no idea if there's going to be a state of the game this Wednesday. I would assume there would be, especially because they just bailed on the last one without any announcement whatsoever. Maybe they will discuss what took place over the weekend then. I sincerely doubt it. I think they'll address it real briefly, say it was fixed, then move on. And I know I speak for a lot of gamers when I say, well, all we want is to be kept in the loop of what's happening. It's really unfair when you keep the community in the dark in regards to certain things that really affect our gameplay. This now brings me to matchmaking for the summit, and I cannot tell you how many messages we've received from people who can still not find a group that they can get with when they're trying to play the game. Now, really quick, before we move on, I want to mention the fact that, and I actually said this in the previous video, in my opinion, the best way to find a group for matchmaking for the summit is to matchmake from DC. And I mean from the map in DC itself. So you can matchmake from the summit, and you can matchmake from the lobby or go to that computer or whatever, but you try it once, it reloads, you do it again, then it will start the matchmaking system, but for some reason, you're getting faster results in DC. And once again, unfortunately, since the summit has launched, this has been an issue, and it's again something that they haven't brought up once. No messaging, no letting us know what's going on, no communication whatsoever. And the main reason I bring this up is that matchmaking is a pivotal point of that game mode, because you have a huge aspect of the community that cannot do legendary on their own. They don't have a dedicated group, so when matchmaking doesn't work, you're not going to get players. The next thing we want to get into is loot quality, loot consistency, and once again, we have a topic in this game that has completely polarizing opinions. Now, I can say when it comes to my game specifically that I have seen an increase in the quality of loot in Heroic. I've seen more God rolls than before, and I've seen less, rainbow rolls than I did, like 2-3 weeks ago. And we have also heard that from other gamers as well. However, the majority of the community is still dealing with terrible loot. And here's the thing. If you run a mission once and you get all pissed off, dude, it's a looter shooter. You gotta give it more than that. However, if you're spending a good 2 hours, 3 hours of farming, missions, control points, stuff like that, mathematically, you better be getting a good piece of equipment because otherwise you have no incentive to come back to the game. And that's where the problem lies. So in my opinion, challenging and heroic they have to have a certain percentage that you are guaranteed something decent because that's what's going to bring you back. And as I've mentioned previously, there are a lot of people who are stuck really in that gray area of between challenging and heroic. And if they're not getting that decent group, they're going to be stuck there for a very long time. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying make it super easy, like everything in challenging should be God rolled and everything in heroic should be God rolled. I mean, you need to be able to put some effort in. Like I can tell you for myself, I've spent over like 1,200 hours playing this game. Every good piece of gear I've earned. However, it should not take someone 1,200 hours to be able to put together a decent gear set or decent builds, things like that. So what I'm saying is, as I mentioned before, mathematically, if you're working on something, you should have a percentage of something dropping no matter what. And I know the frustration is there because a lot of people, we've been told, okay, there's this percentage, there's that percentage. And what happens is they keep moving the finish line, so people are just getting so frustrated, they're starting to just completely give up. Next thing I want to talk about is the fact it has to do with build diversity. And again, very polarizing. You have people saying, oh, everyone's just running SMG and it's the new meta and all this stuff. It's like, dude, there are so many new builds you can put together now. It's insane. Always keep in mind that when there's a new gear set, especially one that's as powerful as Hunter's Fury, everyone is going to be rushing to that right away. But again, it's going to take a little time, but people are going to go back to the things that they were doing before as well. Now, I've said this before, I hope it doesn't happen, but I expect a Hunter's Fury nerf on the horizon. I would be really pissed if it happens. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. It'd really piss me off because people spend time, making a build and then all of a sudden they change it because they made it too powerful in the first place. It makes no sense to me. Now, getting back to build diversity, most of the time, the people that are going to be complaining about it are the ones who are doing PvP, and they're saying just everyone is running the same thing. That usually is the case, but in PvE, again, there are so many different options you can choose from right now. I think I mentioned this before, but I'm going to be putting out at least one build video a week, and one thing I love is when people comment like, oh, hey, try this and try that, and I'm thinking, oh my god, that's such a great idea. Why didn't I think of that before? And I mean, there are so many options, so I guess my one piece of advice is don't try to copy and paste someone else's build. It could work for you, yes, but again, really try to learn your style of gameplay and work around that. I mean, I still see players who run aces and eights and nothing else, and they are just melting NPCs left and right. And they're like, why would I change anything? I mean, there's no point. Like, my marksman rifle does everything I need it to do. I'm not making any moves. And that is the entire point of this game, my friends. Have fun with it. Try new things. Yes, try different things, whatever it may be. But it's like, really, enjoy your gameplay. Build something around the way you like playing the game. Finally, my friends, the last thing I want to get into today, and this has been pretty, even all across the boards from everyone, is NPC aggressiveness and how everything has seemed to change recently. And I mean, this is something I have to say that has been pretty consistent from everybody, is they've noticed so many different things. Everything from, when you're playing on your own to playing in groups, different missions, different control points, things like that. I mean, I have an example from yesterday where I'm just running around in the open world doing some stuff, and I get one of those dudes with a trash can who comes up and just almost one-hits me with a metal pipe, and I have over 1 million damage, and he pretty much takes my armor out in one shot. Now I'm able to move around, whatever, I take him out, but then you got his buddy Hawkeye with the bow and arrow, again one-shooting me, and again, this is a red, no bars, just a red. I have over 1 million armor, and I'm getting one shot by normal NPCs. It doesn't make any sense. Now, I have to assume, because this happened before, is that once again the devs are going to say, well, nothing has changed, we didn't tweak anything. But the thing is that when so many people are complaining about the same thing, it's something that is happening in the game. In regards to that, I wish I had more of an answer for you. We'll have to see and wait what happens. I think that's, pretty much our mantra in this game. And, the thing is that I really enjoy this game. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with the new game mode. And I'm saying that as someone who loves this new game mode. I mean, I love the new gear sets. I love the new build diversity that I have. But it shouldn't, again, like I said before, it shouldn't be easy, but it shouldn't take you, 1,200 hours to get the stuff you need. And when you add the fact that players who are not only brand new but have been playing this for a while are still dealing with load times and delta errors and blue screens, that's the stuff that needs to be fixed immediately and should have been fixed a long time ago. So on behalf of the Division 2 community that has been loyal, that has been playing this game for the last year and a half, instead of spending money on trying to get more people to a game that needs fixing, please do the fixing. And on that note, my friends, I think we're going to pretty much wrap up this video. There are still a lot of questions we want to answer for you. We'll touch base on Wednesday with hopefully a recap of the state of the game and answering more questions. And if that doesn't happen, we'll still bring you something to give you some sort of an update. As always, I want to take a quick second and thank you all for the continued support. Yesterday was our 6-month anniversary as a channel. The way we've been growing, we owe it all to you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing, and we are so thankful. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of what we're doing. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. It really does help us out. But most importantly, as always, take care, be kind, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.